What's up, guys? Welcome back to the WRPF podcast, episode 63. All right, it's me coming at you solo, ready to talk about the rest of 2024 and 2025 pro powerlifting. Man, the Ghost Clash, right? It was just a couple weeks ago where you guys kind of had the Ghost Clash intro show where date was being announced, registration was being announced, tiers of registration was being announced. That was all throughout the month of July. All right. With the final tier of registration opening the last week, last Monday of July. Man, it's absolutely insane and so cool to me how this meet and pro powerlifting continues to grow and continues to have such a high demand. And I love the pro am side of things, mixing the amateurs, mixing the pros together. And what was so cool this year is last year, Amateur Day sold out instantly when registration opened, and we still had Pro Day spots for a few hours, right? And that was after running through 3 different rounds of invites, right? Having some spots remaining available when registration opened to the public on that opening day, as long as you meet the minimum requirements. This year, instead of just 60 Pro Day spots, we had 75 Pro Day spots available. We ran through our tiers of invites the exact same way. And when registration opened to the public, we only had I think 5 or less Pro Day spots left, as opposed to last year we had like 10, right? And that's considering we only had 60 total spots as opposed to 75 total spots this year. And those couple of Pro Day spots that we had were gone in I think 4 or 5 minutes, like instantly, as quick as you could fill out the form. So Pro Day sold out in absolute record time from tiers of invites to opening up to the general public. 75 spots filled, 75 people with a minimum 500 dots. You know, I don't think that there's ever been a single pro platform day. First, we're up in the game by having a lot more lifters in a day, extending the day, extending into sessions. But to have 75 elite level lifters all join at the same place in the same day is freaking sick. Then we have our wait list that just opened up. And then, of course, Amateur Day sold out within the hour right after that. Same deal as last year, 90 total spots, 2 full sessions of 45 and 45 lifters, like 2 full meets almost, right? Spread out. So it's going to be, another cool day, cool night in Miami. Afternoon lifters lifting later in the afternoon, people getting to hang out at the tank, the bar. So Amateur Day selling out within the hour as well. And we just opened up our wait list, right? So that brings us to now. Sold out. Wait list is now open. How does the wait list work? What does that look like? All right. So we opened up 10 waitlist spots for pros, 20 waitlist spots for amateurs. Okay. It's an $85 fee to get on the wait list. That $85 will go towards your registration when you get called off of the wait list. In the possible event that you don't end up getting called, you will then have that $85 act as a weekend pass, and that's your free weekend pass to get into the Ghost Clash. All right. Now, how does it work with selection from the wait list? We just opened up the wait list and there's still plenty of spots available. All right. But also, we're fucking 8 months out, man. It's crazy for this meet to be able to sell out 8 months, over half a year away, is an incredible honor, and it's very very cool and very very exciting. So with that wait list spot, it's plenty available. How does it work if you're going to get called, if you're going to get selected for Pro Day? Out of those 10 spots, they will be filtered based on highest dots to lowest dots. Okay. Last year, we ran through almost the entire Pro Day wait list. All right. I think there was only 2 people who didn't end up making it off of the Pro Day wait list. What we also did the last week leading up to the meet is we were able to move some people who were on Amateur Day who qualified onto Pro Day, right? So, but those weren't even people on the wait list. So highest dots to lowest dots, that's the ranking who gets called for pro day. Amateur day, it's first come, first serve. So the sooner you sign up, the sooner you put your name on that list, the more likely you will to be called to receive a spot. We had tons and tons of pullouts last year, tons. So there's a very good likelihood, very good chance. I mean, we're 8 months out from the meet, right? That you're going to get called. Lifters have from now until 16 weeks out. So until 4 months out. So they have 4 more months to decide, are they still competing? Are they going to pull out? Are they going to get injured? They'll receive a majority refund, an 80% refund, and then you'll get called from the wait list. All right. After the reason why we do that is, we only give them till 16 weeks out to get that partial refund, because it's going to really encourage people to not be an asshole and just not, they're like, oh, maybe I'll compete, maybe I won't compete. And they hold that spot when someone else who really wants can get it. So up until 16 weeks, they could pull out with a partial refund. So that means over these next couple of months, and especially till December, end of December, when that 16-week out mark is a very high likelihood that these people were going to be running through the wait list. So get on the wait list now, get on the wait list early, so that we'll filter through that. You guys will have an opportunity to get in the competition and come to Miami in April. So again, it's $85 to get on the wait list. That goes towards your registration when you get called. In the event that you don't get called, that will act as a weekend pass, free entrance to the competition. Still come on out. We had tons of people who were on the, last year who, if they didn't, like the couple, we had the two pros who didn't end up making it in. One of them came out. It acted as his weekend pass. He was able to attend the meet, hang out, have a good time. But I do think, especially with how far out we are, the amount of impulse signups that we have, there's a good chance if you get on the wait list, you may get in. So waitlist is on the Ghost Clash page. And I mean, that's about all I have for that, right? We're freaking 8 months out, way over a year out. The meet is set, the meet is ready, the venue is ready. We're going to begin working on getting all of our sponsors to raise our prize money. Goal is $40,000 to $50,000 again this year, to give out. To be determined how we do the breakdowns. I'm looking to have some ideas. I'm brainstorming some different things to kind of change up the way we do payouts. It was really cool last year how we did it, where we had 20 winners, top 5 men, top 5 women in wraps and in sleeves, 20 total possibilities of winning. We paid out, a third of all the pro day competitors, in addition to our paying out our amateur day. So looking to possibly change it up, possibly add more winners on amateur day. Who knows? Stay tuned as we get closer. But again, just thank you guys for making this, already looking into 2025, a very, very exciting Ghost Clash 4. But before the Ghost Clash 4, we have, tons of pro level competition still coming up this year, right? A lot of these meets are in the second half of the year. Ghost Clash is just 3 months removed, right? 4 months removed from us. So we're just only, less than 4 months away from this past Ghost Clash. And we are rolling right into Power Surge. All right. You guys, a couple episodes back, I was able to interview Sergio Luna, the owner of Surge to New Levels, meet director of Power Surge. We talked a bit about Power Surge. He's been running, this is Power Surge. Let me see. Oh, it doesn't have the Roman numerals. I believe this is Power Surge 6 or 7, right? So he's been doing this a long time. He has the same concept as a Ghost Clash, where it's a amateurs and pros lifting together, separate days. His pro day fully sold out through different tiers of registration. Ghost Clash, the minimum requirement is a 500 dots. He has a sliding scale, but looking at his roster, I have his roster here, open in front of me. Over half of the lifters all have a 500 plus dots. So cool to see. Tons of elite level lifters still coming out for his meet, with Mr. none other than John Hack, right? That's John Hack's next meet on his calendar. He's coming off of the Ghost Clash. He's coming off of an absolutely insane performance of the Ghost Clash, new all-time world record total. He beat his previous best dots, even though he competed as a 220. pulled a massive, uh, uh, deadlift all-time world record. Crazy day for him. He's in prep here now, Power Surge, uh, with back-to-back going from Power Surge to the American Pro, which is super exciting, super cool to see. But again, we're first talking about Power Surge. 7.5 weeks out from Power Surge. I know from when I've interviewed him, a while back, he has, he still has his goal set out for 198. And he, I believe, would have hit many of his goals for 198 at the Ghost Clash if he would have made weight, and that might have been his retirement from 198. But he didn't end up making weight. He ended up going up a weight class. So that leaves him with potential unfinished business. For Power Surge, he is registered as 198. All right. So if he makes weight, are we going to see him, break that all-time world record 198 squat? Are we going to see him, total what he's been wanting to total at 198 before retiring that weight class? It's going to be very cool, very exciting to see. Like I said, there's tons of other high-level, elite-level lifters with a 550 plus dots. They're competing at the Power Surge. Currently on their roster, they have 36 men, 28 women. A very, very cool split to see as well, with pro powerlifting gaining more and more traction. I remember it wasn't long ago at the Ghost Clash 1 and the Hybrid Showdowns that we barely had one flight of women, and then we had 3 flights of men. So now here you have almost half of the meet, 2 full flights of just strong ass women coming out. We even had Kirsten Skurlock on the roster. I haven't seen or heard her name in a while. I believe she was supposed to compete at the Ghost Clash. She withdrew quite a while out from the Ghost Clash, so I haven't seen her active on social media. This will be very cool to see her potential comeback. One of the highest ranked women we have, Kelsey Pascuret, with a 592 dots. Not far behind her, we have Mary Fleckenstein, who competed at the Ghost Clash 3, so previous year, and I believe got injured at the Ghost Clash 3. So she's coming to make her way back post injury on a pro level platform. Excited to see her, see what she's capable of when she is fully healthy. So tons of strong women, the majority of them, over half of them, with 500 plus dots, with 28 women competing at the Power Surge. That's going to be super fun, super exciting to watch. 7.5 weeks out, right, from the Power Surge. Then rolling right after the Power Surge, 12.5 weeks out, so 5 weeks from Power Surge, we have the American Pro. All right. So like I just said, Hack is on both of those rosters. Will we see him go 220, then go or 198 and then go up to 220? How will he be able to juggle 2 back-to-back preps like that with just 5 weeks in between? That will be cool and exciting to see. What I'm personally, call me biased, most excited for the American Pro 3 is Jawan, right? Jawan is making his final appearance at a pro level WRPF meet, if you will, before making the switch to the IPF. This will be his first WRPF meet as a 198. Historically doing 181, doing last year's American Pro at 181, now going up to 198. So this is ultimately his first and last head-to-head with John Hack. Now, is he going to give John Hack a run for his money? Fuck no. And we know that, okay? And that's another reason why going up a weight class is the best decision for him to fully make the switch over to the tested side with the IPF. But with him making the switch to the IPF, he doesn't have the luxury of being able to still do WRPF meets due to the IPF's strict policies. You guys might have heard me a couple months ago do an episode on Article 14 and all the bullshit surrounding that. We can only hope in 2025 that may change, but as of now, it's not. So this will be his final farewell, final meet before we make a big switch over. But with that, he has specific goals. And although it's not going head-to-head with John per se for total and for dots, it's going head-to-head, hopefully, for that all-time world record squat. You guys just heard me talk about how at the Ghost Clash 4, I know John, it's been one of his goals for a while is to break the 198 all-time world record squat, which is 805, right? It's 365.5 or 365 kilos is the all-time world record squat. That's been on John's mind, but that's also been on Jawan's mind. All right. We had initially potentially wanted to hit 800 at 181. Wasn't in the cards of the last American Pro. So we just did what we did, and we were super happy with that. But we knew right away when he goes up to 198, we need to solidify and set that record and not just chip it, but break it by a good damn amount. And that's our goal, right? If John loads it first and breaks it first and chips it potentially at the power surge and then retires from 198, we know what we got to hit going into the American Pro 3. We know we have to break if then John is choosing to go up to 220 and set his retirement. Or what would be really fun is if John goes 198 one more time for the American Pro as Jawan's last meet, and we can see them go pound for pound, head to head for that all-time world record squat. If you guys look at Jawan's historic attempts with me as his coach, we have historically gone for all-time world record squats on his second attempt. Not saying for sure that's the plan for the American Pro, but that may be what's in the cards, and that may be what we do to see it break on the second and then break even more on the third, just like we did with the 181 all-time world record squat at the American Pro 2. So super, super excited. We're 12 and a half weeks out from the American Pro. You guys are going to hear this this podcast starting to shift a lot over into different storylines, different preview shows. People were excited to see potential new lifters who we may not know their names. I already started jotting down some lifters' names that I saw with pretty high entry dots that I'm not familiar with, to start following their journeys, see how it's going leading into the American Pro 3. Because I know for the Ghost Clash 4 next year, we have tons of invited international talent in the US, like all kinds of lifters that I had never heard of. I didn't know their names. And then here they are signing up well over qualifying and potentially going to be giving some of the old names that we know and love a run for their money. So super excited to see. Very excited for the American Pro, 12 and a half weeks away. But that's not the end of 2024 yet, right? So we still have those two WRPF Pro meets coming up. But outside of the WRPF, my boy Jordan Wong, all right? King of the platform, queen of the platform. He's been running that meet here in Florida for a few years now. And each year it's gained more and more traction. And he's got big fucking things planned for this year, right? Last year he had a couple pros come out, did some good cash payouts. But this year he's gone above and beyond. He has just under $20,000 of prize money. He has a full pro day of men, full pro day of women, which is so fucking cool to see. He has fucking Christy Hawkins, the greatest power lifter of all time, on the roster, amongst a lot of other people. His roster, like the Ghost Clash, isn't public yet, but he is in my plans to interview very soon, to start hearing about that roster, to start hearing about King and Queen of the Platform meet coming up. That's, like I said, here in Florida, almost $20,000 of prize money. When I saw how big he was going this year, I messaged him. I told him, put me down for some money too. I want to throw it back into the meet. I want to be there. I want to see, a bunch of these pro level lifters ball out on a relatively new, but has now from this past year to this year, jumped up big time to be a very good pro level platform that Jordan is putting on and putting together. So stay on the lookout for me interviewing him very, very soon to hear more about that upcoming meet and hear more about the roster. Like I said, when I saw Christy Hawkins is competing, I was like, oh shit, I've been trying to get her to come to Florida to compete at the Ghost Clash and the Hybrid Showdown for years. You freaking got her? Hopefully one day I'll get Christy, right? Hopefully. I've been trying to get her to come out to compete. Only a matter of time. I know with her career, she's a little selective with her competition schedule. And we also have to try to get her as a guest on this podcast soon. But that's going to be a really good competition. Three banger pro meets with tons of the best lifters in the world competing now from in 7.5 weeks till 16 and a half weeks, back to back. Three awesome meets you guys won't want to miss. Very excited to start pulling some storylines, pulling some lifters for us to interview and get excited for these next couple pro level meets before 2025 starts. And next thing you know, right when we're in 2025, we're counting down the weeks till the Ghost Clash 4. Super, super excited for it. As always, go over to the WRPF website, check out our calendar. You can filter it by whether it's just local level meets, regional level meets, national level meets. I mean, in between all this, we are, I believe, about 10 to 11 weeks out from WRPF Nationals. How could I even forget to jot that down on my notes and to talk about that? About 11 weeks out from WRPF Nationals, and holy crap, we are just shy of our cap. It's capped at 450 lifters across 3 days. I believe we're just north now of 400 lifters signed up for WRPF Nationals. So amazing to see where WRPF as a federation as a whole has come over the last couple of years. Me being someone who's been involved since practically day one, seeing how Nationals, how Micah started it just in his gym a couple years ago, and me being at Nationals coaching 2 years ago at his gym with just 100 lifters or just shy of 100 lifters, to now have over 400 signed up, almost the cap. Registration is still open. I believe it's closing in the coming weeks, but there are still spots available for day one. I believe there's only a handful of spots. I think I looked at it and the cap's 150 and there's already up to like 143 or something like that. So don't sleep on Nationals. If these pro level meets aren't in the cards for you yet, Nationals is going to be a fantastic platform for you guys to step on, to gain some higher level experience, to be able to go head to head with some weight class battles. That's going to be really cool and really exciting to see a bunch of lifters being able to battle out in weight classes, because it's not all about dots, right? If you look at things like IPF Worlds, one of the most prestigious meets in powerlifting, it's all about the weight classes, right? Because there's enough talent across those weight classes. So it's going to be very cool to start seeing that trend into the WRPF with Nationals this year. We'll definitely be doing a show talking more about that roster, talking about seeing what's planned for it. So don't sleep on that. Still opportunities to sign up, even though all the other pro meets I talked about are sold out. If you're interested in wait lists, message the meet directors, go to the Ghost Clash 4 Instagram page, sign up for the wait list. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the WRPF podcast.